Hey y'all, I'm Blake. This is my new channel, the Viking. I was recently asked on a Facebook page about hammock camping and as well as this stand that I'm sitting in right here in my backyard. So what better way to start the channel than a DIY of what materials I used for this. Unfortunately, I won't be building real time. Uh, Simply because I already got two of these stands and I really don't need any more. Alright, so material list for the main portion, which is each tripod stand. There's actually two, which I cannot fit in my video, unfortunately, with being able to actually see anything. But the two tripods, these are made out of 2x2 treated lumber, and it is originally 8 foot tall. What I ended up doing was trimming to fit into a truck bed, and that made them roughly 6'9" each for your two main, for your larger size. But on our shorter stick, it's roughly 6'6", and that ends up just being able to lean against each other and not have a extra base. It actually ends up being self-supporting that way. Off of that, I have a 5-inch heavy-duty hinge. I believe it is 8 bolts and nuts. We ended up using nylon nuts. That way it would be able to actually stay together without having lock washers and have too much compaction on there. 2 eye bolts, and a top fence rail. The fence rail comes in at 10'6", which is perfect as is. There's no trimming. All you have to do is pop 2 holes into it to fit the eye bolt, as well as 2 carabiners in order to connect it to that hinge. Coming around to how we cut our 2 legs on our tripod, the longer length, we cut a 60-degree right here, so that they can actually sit together and kind of nest up. That way it did become support to each other. On our back side, I'm going to swing y'all around here. On our back side here, if you can see, that is actually a 45-degree cut, and all that's doing is resting your main onto your back leg. You can also see where we did do our heavy-duty hinge. All we did, we didn't tighten these all the way up. That was why we have the nylon lock washer. That way the washer, or sorry, the nylon nut, that way it is able to keep on the bolt, but you don't have to have it too tight, and these are able to move. So as you can see back here, we have the 45-degree cut on the back leg. That's just taking the weight from the front to the back. No issues there. If I can do this without being in y'all's way, you can see we've got 2 of our bolts here. We've also got 1 and 2 up here on the hinge. Those are both lock washers, or sorry, lock nuts, washers, and then just the bolts. On the hinge itself, we did have to drill out these 2 holes. That was in order to fit the size of this snap link. We do have eye bolt itself, simply eye bolt, washer, pipe, and then our washer again, and a nut. That is not a nylon nut. That is strictly just your stainless. From there, it's really simple. I believe it took me roughly an hour, maybe an hour and a half, to actually build these, and that was with all the trimming, sizing up my bed itself on my vehicle, and making sure everything went in together. I did use a step-up bit on our hinge. It just makes it a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier. Not that big of a deal. I was able to buy a step-up with a punch on Amazon. I believe I paid like $12 for a full set. I'll see if I can find the link. I'll put it in the description. Same with anything else that I can think of as far as tools, as far as equipment that was used for this. But I believe that was the only thing that I had to order. So from there, give me just a second. We'll reset this tripod and see what we can figure out. All right, so that was a real quick bill of materials for this project. Like I said, it probably took me an hour and a half to build. I believe I paid maybe $80 in materials. Of course, this was a few years ago before the lumber price came up. Honestly, just let me know if y'all have any other ideas. I'll try to do other DIYs, other equipment lists. We're just going to try to keep this channel going. So, other than that, subscribe, see what comes out. We'll see you later.